masters in statistics in our class? Anybody? Do we have anyone who has done masters in statistics, like MSc statistics or something like that?
No.
Don't we have? No?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. In general, statistics are two types. Statistics are two types. The first one is called descriptive statistics. The first one is called as a descriptive statistics, and the second one is called as an inferential statistics. In descriptive statistics, generally we use descriptive statistics for two important reasons. Okay, statistics are two types. The first one is called as a descriptive statistics, and the second one is called as an inferential statistics. What you mean by descriptive statistics? And we use the descriptive statistics to check the quality of the data. And once the data has been checked, the quality, and if the data has been passed at the quality check, if you believe that by taking some borderlines, if you believe that data is very normal, now what we are going to do, then we are going to run inferential statistics. Generally, why we use inferential statistics? We use inferential statistics to propose a hypothesis. So, for example, if you want to defend, or if you want to explain if a drug is very safe and very effective, to say that if a drug is working really well, we are going to collect the data from the subjects or patients. When you collect the data from the patients, first of all, we need to check the quality of the data, whether the data is fit for the analysis or not. To check the quality of the data, we use the descriptive statistics. And once you have done with the descriptive statistics, and if you think that your data is qualitative, your data is very fine, so you can go with the inferential statistics, then we will run the inferential statistics. By generating the report from the inferential statistics, then what we will do, we will propose our hypothesis to defend, the safety and efficacy of the drug. Not only in clinical trial, in any domain. If you want to propose a hypothesis, we should run the inferential statistics. But before running the inferential statistics, we should run the descriptive statistics to check the normality of the data. Okay. Now, if you want to go as a statistical programmer, first you need to understand the descriptive statistics, and then you should understand inferential statistics. But descriptive statistics are very essential and very important. As a data analyst or a biostatistician or a statistical programmer, the fundamental thing that you need to understand descriptive, and then we should go with the inferential statistics. Now, in today's class, I'm going to start with the descriptive statistics. To understand the quality of the data, to define the quality of the data, as I said, we are going to run the descriptive statistics. Now, to explain the descriptive statistics, we have two important procedures. And out of those, the first important procedure that we have in a PROC means. In today's class, I'm going to explain you the PROC means, very, very important descriptive statistical procedure. And if you're going as a data analyst, or if you're coming into the clinical domain, if you keep in resume the tables and listings, particularly tables. You should have very basic procedure that is in a PROC means procedure. Without PROC means, there will be no data analysis. Okay. In today's class, I'm going to explain, maybe today and tomorrow's class, I'm going to explain the descriptive statistics. Okay. To explain the PROC means in detail, I'm going to take a class data set. Now I'm writing data class. I'm creating this data set from the SAS data class. You know that in the SAS algebra class, we have 5 variables. Along with the 5 variables, now in today's class, I'm going to create 2 more new variables. I will take these 7 variables to explain PROC means procedure. Okay. Now, if A is less than or equal to 13, or I will do if A is less than or equal to 12, less than or equal to 12, then I'm creating a variable called age group. I want to have value young in that. Else, if age greater than or equal to 13 and age less than or equal to 14, then I want to have age group variable. In that, I want to have value called middle. Else, if age greater than or equal to 15, then age group is equal to, I want to have an adult. So this is the one variable I'm creating, and the variable name is age group. Okay. Okay. And after that, I want to create one more variable. I want to create one more variable, and this time I want to create a variable called body mass index or BMI. Okay. Now, how I'm doing? Now I'm writing BMI is equal to. There is a formula for the BMI, which is weight divided by height whole square. Height whole square into 704. This is the empirical formula to calculate body mass index, and the 704 is a constant value. I'm taking that constant value. Now I'm selecting this program. I'm executing this program. We will have class data set. In the class data set, along with the 5 existing variables, we have 2 more new variables. Do you have any idea about the body mass index? Anybody? How we calculate, how we interpret the body mass result? You should have body mass index always between 16 to 25. If you have your body mass BMI value less than 16, what does it mean?
Underweight.
Underweight.
You are underweight. Okay, lean, malnutrited. If you have more than 65, what does it mean?
Obese.
Obese.
Overweight or obese.
overweight.
You should always have between 16 to 25. Okay. Now, according to that one, who is underweight and who is like an overweight? Do we have any person overweight here? No. All of them are less than 25. And here we have less than 16 is in a underweight. And but that is not our business in today's class. Just out of interest, I'm telling you. And this is how we calculate BMI. Okay. Now, if I select the program, execute the program. Now, in the class dataset, I have 7 variables. I am taking this dataset to explain the descriptive PROC means procedure. Now, how we can define PROC means procedure and why we run the PROC means procedure? PROC means is useful to generate descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics are all the numerical variables. All the numerical variables of a data set. Numerical variables of a data set. And we can generate this descriptive statistic categorically. We can do that one by categorically. Now, do you know what you mean by descriptive statistics? Do you know any descriptive statistics? N, mean, median, standard deviation. variance, range, minimum, maximum, all this comes under, descriptive statistics. Now, how to write the PROC means procedure? The basic procedure that we can write is PROC means semicolon run. This is the basic procedure that we can write. But if you write the PROC means semicolon run, what will happen? It will run PROC means procedure for the most recently created data set of default library. What is the default library that we have? Work library.
Work library.
What is the most recently created data set in the work library?
Class.
Class data set. Right now, just now we created the class data set. For the class data set, it will run the PROC means procedure, and by default, it will get analysis for all the numerical variables of the class data set. Do you know what are the numerical variables that we have in the class data set?
Age, height,
Height,
weight,
Age,
group,
height, weight,
And
Wow.
the BMI.
BMI.
Just now we created the BMI. So we have age, height, weight, and BMI. So for all the four variables, it will calculate descriptive statistics. And by default, what are the descriptive statistics that you will get? Now see, if I select the program, execute the program, so it is going to run the descriptive statistics for all the four numerical variables. The variable name is age, height, weight, and BMI. Can you see what are the default statistics that we got? N, mean, standard deviation, minimum, and the maximum. It is a very, very important interview question. When you run the PROC means procedure, what are all the default descriptive statistics that you will get? What are the default descriptive statistics that you will get? We'll get descriptive statistics, default ones, like we'll get N, then we will get mean, we get standard deviation, and we got this minimum, and then we got this maximum. So these are the 5 default statistics that you will get when you run the PROC means procedure. Understand this one? Very, very important interview question. What are all the default descriptive statistics that you will get when you run the PROC means procedure? N, mean, standard deviation, minimum, and the maximum. By the way, for which variables you will get all these statistics?
All the
You will get
numerical.
for all the numerical variables. But when I execute the program, I'm getting for the most recently created data set, but I want to have analysis for specific data set. I have multiple data sets, so many data sets in one library, but I want to have this analysis for only specific data set. Then what is the option that you will write now? You will write an option called data is equal to. Now see, I am writing PROC means data is equal to SAS help.class semicolon run. Now tell me, for which data set you will get analysis now? You will get this analysis.
Class.
Class data.
Class. No, SAS help.class stats, not the class. It will get for the SAS help.class. Understand? Now, in the SAS help.class, we have 3 numerical variables called age, height, and weight. Now we got the analysis for, age, height, and weight. Understand this one? Now, I am writing now PROC means data is equal to class semicolon run. Now tell me, for which data set that you will get analysis now? You will get this analysis for only for class data set of work library. Now in the work library class data set, we have 4 numerical variables, and we got the analysis for all the 4 numerical variables. And I'm going back to the again data step. When I'm creating this class data set, I have written the label statement. So first variable, the name variable, I want to have label for the name variable. Say for example, I want to have it as a name, student name, and I'm writing the student name. And the second variable is, sex variable. Now I'm writing the sex variable, and I want to have a label, student gender. The third variable is, we have an age variable. Age variable, I want to have analysis as, say, for example, student is. Fourth variable is height variable. Height is equal to, I want to have a student height. Then the weight variable. Weight is equal to, I want to have it as a, student weight. The next variable that we have in a, age group. I want to have it as an age group. And finally, BMI is equal to, I want to have a body mass index. Keep it equal. Now, if I execute the program, I am going to have, by the way, what is the length of age group in this program?
6.
Why 6?
1.
8.
I got the different answers. 8, 5, 6. Which one is correct answer?
9.
5.
8.
Along with space
5.
mark.
Why 8? Why it is 8? Anybody?
It's D for
Okay, when I'm writing it conditionally, I'm creating a new variable. Whatever the first value that we have, that is going to be the length of the variable. Now, what is the length of the age group now?
5.
5.
5.
Since we have a variable length is only 5, when you are reading the middle, will you get the complete value?
No.
No.
No, you will get only MIDDL. Then what we should do?
Length statement.
Where we should write the length
Length.
statement?
Length. After class data set.
So
After set.
before set.
in this scenario, you can write after set statement also, because do we have age group in the SAS blood class?
No.
No.
We can write after the set statement also. Length, I'm writing age group. It is a character variable. I want to have a length 6. Now I'm executing this program. Now I'm going back to my program. I'm writing PROC means data is equal to class. For which variables you will get the analysis, by the way?
Age, height, weight.
Age, height, weight, BMI. We have 4 variables, so we got the analysis for all the 4 variables, and this is how we got it. But can you see? Can you see we have an extra column here?
Label.
Label. When we have a labels for the variable, when you run the PROC means procedure, you will get an extra column called label. In the label column, we'll get the labels for numerical variable for which we got the analysis. We have the labels for all the 4 numerical variables, and we got the labels for all the 4 variables. And it's it's going to be extra thing. We don't require these labels, but when we have a label, automatically it will print the label. But if you do not want to have this label, what we should write? And we are going to write an option called no labels. If you specify an option called no labels, what this option will do? This option will suppress printing of the labels in the output window. Now, can you see when I specify the no labels option, it is not printing any labels here. And one more important thing, now can you see how many decimals I'm getting for the mean value? We got 7 decimals.
7.
And how many decimals we got
7.
for the standard deviation? Again, 7 decimals. Every time we are getting more than 5. Here we are getting 7 decimals. Those are too many decimals. I don't want to have those many decimals. I want to have only 2 decimals. Do you know how to control the decimals?
By writing format.
By writing a format statement. Tell me for which value you want to write. Do you want to be write the format statement here?
Mean.
The mean is a variable.
Age,
Wait. No, sir.
height,
Height. Height. Weight.
But age is not a variable. No, it is in a horizontal dimension here.
BMI.
BMI is not a variable. BMI is in a horizontal dimension here. Now, to control the decimals, now we have an option called max dec is equal to, which means maximum decimals is equal to how many decimals that you want to have maximum. I want to have a 2 decimals. Now we should
2.
max dec is equal to 2. Now, if I execute the program, now can you see every time how many decimals I'm getting now?
2.
2 decimals.
2.
We have a PROC MEANS option, max dec is equal, which means maximum decimals is equal to. If I specify max dec is equal to 1, now tell me how many decimals you will get now? I will get only 1 decimal.
1 decimal.
If I specify max dec is equal to 0, now you know what will happen now? All the values will be get rounded to its closest integer value. Okay, if you have a 22.8, that will round to 23. If you have a 13.3, that will get rounded to 13. If you have a 0.5 or more than that, it will round to next highest integer value. If you have a 0.4 or less than that, it will round to the next lowest integer value. Sampath, keep your mic on mute. Understand this one? So if I specify the max dec is equal to 3, now tell me what will happen. Now you will get a 3 decimals. So if you want to control the decimals for the descriptive statistics, what is the option you should write? We should write the max dec is equal to. You can specify how many decimals you want to. You can specify that one. Understand this one? Now I'm writing PROC means data is equal to the data set name. Now tell me, if I execute this program, for which variable we are getting this analysis? For all the numerical variables of the data set, right? But now I do not want to have analysis for all the numerical variables. I want to have analysis for only for weight variable. Now, if you want to generate the analysis for only for weight variable, you know what we should do? You should write a PROC means data is equal to data set name. Now we should write a statement called var. Var statement will specify the variable names for which you want to have analysis. Now I want to have analysis for only for weight variable, var weight. Now select the program and execute the program. Now can you say, I will get the 5 descriptive statistics for only which variable now? For weight variable. Now I want to have analysis for both height and weight. Then what we should do? You should write PROC means data is equal to the data set name, where I want to have analysis for both height and weight, semicolon run. Now, by default, what are the statistics that you will get? You will get n, mean, standard deviation, minimum, and the maximum. Now, we are getting, these 5 default statistics for both height and weight. You know how to control this label? If you do not want to have a label, what we should do? You should write
No
option
label.
called
No labels.
by specifying the no labels option, we can suppress printing of those labels. Now, I want to have analysis for only for BMI variable, then what should I do? You should write a PROC means data is equal to the data set name, and I do not want to have any labels. I'm going to specify the no labels option. Now, tell me if you want to have analysis for only BMI, what should I write? Where BMI semicolon run. Now select the program and execute it. Now we'll get the BMI. Only for BMI, we are getting, N, mean, standard deviation, minimum, and the maximum. So that means what are the default statistics that we get? Mean, standard deviation,
Minimum, maximum.
PROC means data is equal to class. I do not want to have any labels. I am in no labels option, where I am rating height, I am rating weight, and I am rating the BMI. So now tell me for which variables you will get the analysis. I will get the analysis for height variable, weight variable, and BMI variable, isn't it? And I will get the 5 default statistics: N, mean, standard deviation, minimum, and maximum. But now I do not want to have those default statistics. I want to have, whatever I want to have a total, height total, weight total, and BMI total. If you want to have only height, if you want to have only the totals, Now in the PROC mean statement, now we write in a statistical keyword called sum. Sum keyword will give you sum of the height, weight, and BMI. Can you see? We have height total, we have a weight total, and we have BMI total. Now I want to have both total and average. If you want to have both total and average, what we should do? We should write a sum space mean. What the mean keyword will give you? Keyword will give you the mean will give you the average of height variable, average of weight, and average of BMI. Now select the program and execute the program. Now this is how we are going to have height total and height average, mean value, weight total and weight average, and then we have a BMI total and BMI average. Now there is an important question. What is the difference between mean function, and mean procedure? Remember, we have seen the mean function. What the mean function will do? Anybody? Anybody, what the mean function will do? Average of?
Main function it average all non-missing values. But
What
mean
all
procedure,
non-missing values?
if any missing values, it will take average of the total value.
Okay.
Average of numerical values.
Mean procedure it will take empty value. It means null value.
Sum of observations by number of observations.
Remember one thing. This is my data set, okay? Remember, the general difference between functions and procedures. Functions works horizontally like this one. And the procedure works vertical manner in this direction. Understand? Procedure works within a variable, vertical dimension, and the functions works horizontal dimension across the variables. Clear, everybody? Is this clear, everyone? Functions works horizontally across the variables. Procedure works within a variable vertically. That is the fundamental difference between a function and a procedure. అంటే మీరు ఫంక్షన్ యూజ్ చేస్తారనుకోండి, నేను మీన్ అనే ఫంక్షన్ వాడుతున్నాను అనుకోండి, నేను మీన్ ఆఫ్ హైట్ రాశాను అనుకోండి, ఎలా వర్క్ చేస్తున్నాను? 51.3 వస్తుంది ఫస్ట్ అబ్జర్వేషన్, సెకండ్ అబ్జర్వేషన్ ఏమొస్తుంది? 56.3 వస్తుంది. కానీ నేను ఫంక్షన్ యూజ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏం రాయాలి? నేను ఐ కెన్ రైట్ మీన్ ఆఫ్ హైట్, వెయిట్ అండ్ బిఎంఐ, బికాస్ ఫంక్షన్స్ వర్క్స్ హారిజంటల్ డైరెక్షన్. But a procedure works vertical dimension within a variable. Clear, everybody? Very, very fundamental. This is the fundamental difference between a function and a procedure. I hope everybody understood this one because it's a very, very important interview question. Now, నేను ఇప్పుడు మీన్ అనే ప్రొసీజర్ రాస్తాను అనుకోండి, మీన్ ఆఫ్ హైట్ అంటే ఎలా వస్తుందండి ఇప్పుడు నాకు? ఈ 19 వాల్యూస్ కి యావరేజ్ వస్తుందండి. 19 వాల్యూస్ కి యావరేజ్ వస్తుంది. అలాగే సమ్ ఆఫ్ హైట్ రాశాను అనుకోండి, ఏమవుతుంది? ఈ 19 వాల్యూస్ కి టోటల్ వస్తుంది. అదే నేను మీన్ ఫంక్షన్ రాశాను అనుకోండి, ఇలా వస్తుంది, క్యాలిక్యులేట్ అవుతుందండి. హారిజంటల్ గా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ అవుతుంది. Understand this one? Now, if I execute this program, I will get the total for height, weight, BMI variable, and I will get the average value again for height, weight, and the BMI. Now I'm selecting the program, executing it. Now, can you see we have height, total and average value, weight, total and average value, and BMI, total and average value. Now, this time I am writing a PROC means procedure. Data is equal to, I will let the class data set. I am writing the no labels option. Now, I want to have a total. If you want to have a total, what is the keyword you should write? Sum.
Sum.
I want to have an average. What is the keyword I should write?
Mean.
Mean. I want to have a median value, middle value. What is the keyword I should write? Median.
Median.
I want to have a standard deviation. You should write the STD. I want to have a number of values n. I want to have a number of missing values n miss. I want to have a variance value. I'm going to write a variance var var. Okay. I want to have the range of values. I'm writing the range. I want to have minimum value min, and I want to have a maximum value max. And then I want to have, first quartile, and I want to have in a third quartile, and I want to have a P10 value. I want to have P90 value, and I want to have maybe P20, and I want to have maybe P80. Whatever that you want to have, we can write it. Understand this one. Now I want to have an uncorrected sums of squares UCSS, and I want to have correct sums of squares CSS, and I want to have LCLM, and I want to have UCLM. All these are descriptive statistics, and I want to have standard error, and I want to have sum weight. I want to have sum weight, and finally keeping a semicolon for which variables you want to have analysis. So I want to have this analysis for height variable, and I want to have this analysis for weight variable, and I want to have this analysis for BMI variable. Now I am writing the run statement. So select this program and execute this program. Now can you see? And we are getting total sum, and we are getting mean value, median value, standard deviation, number of values, number of missing values, variance, range, minimum, maximum, lower quartile, which is Q1, upper quartile Q3, 10th percentile, 90th percentile, 80th percentile, 20th percentile. We have UCSS, uncorrected sums of squares, corrected sums of squares, CSS, and we have LCLM, lower 95th, CL for like a mean. We have an upper 95% CL, and then we have a standard error. We have a standard weights. You can add any descriptive statistics automatically. You no need to know the formulas, no need to know the definitions. Use the right keyword and you will get the analysis. Understand this one? Clear, everybody? Now, this time I am writing PROC means data is equal to, I want to have analysis for class data set. Then I want to have analysis for height and weight. And anyway, I want to have analysis for only for weight variable. Tell me, I want to have only the total. But if I read a like program like this one, what will happen? If I execute this program, tell me what will happen?
Only n
For
mean,
variable weight,
standard,
we got
and
n stands, mean, maximum, minimum.
We'll get n mean, median, sorry, n mean, standard
Median.
deviation, minimum, and maximum for which variable?
weight variable.
Weight
For
variable.
weight variable. But I do not want to have this all the 5 default ones. I want to have only the total. What should I do?
Sum.
Sum.
We write sum.
PROC means data set name, and then you should write the sum.
Sum.
Right? Now we'll get only the total. But I'm getting the total for whom?
Weight.
For all the
Weight.
19 students. I'm getting the total for weight variable for whom? For which students? I'm getting the total for all the 19 students. Isn't it?
Yes.
But now I want to have this weight total, males separately and females separately. What should I do?
We can
In
use
which
where
way?
statement.
No, I want to have this analysis separately for males and separately for females.
Bisect variable.
You should write.
By
What
By-
is the variable I should write in the by statement?
sex.
You should write the by sex. Now semicolon. That means I am getting the analysis for weight variable. I'm getting the what analysis? I'm going to get the total by what variable? By sex variable. You know that in the sex variable we have two types of values, males and females. Now you will get the analysis separately for females and separately for males. Okay. Now I'm selecting this program and executing the program. Now can you see? This is the problem that we have. Are we getting the total separately? I'm not
No.
getting in a proper manner. You know why? You know the reason.
Not the date.
We have
Very
to
good.
sort the
Whenever
data.
you are writing a by statement, what is the prerequisite?
PROC sort.
We need to sort we need to
Sort.
rearrange the observations by which variable?
Sex variable.
Sex
By
variable.
sex variable. If you want to rearrange it, what is the procedure we should write?
PROC sort.
PROC sort.
Data is
Sort.
Sort.
class.
Data is equal to which data set? Class
Class.
data set.
Class.
Semicolon by which variable? By
Sex.
sex variable and
Mhm.
enter. Now, first of all, I'm sorting the data, and after the sorting, now I'm using the PROC means procedure. Now you will get females, weight total and the males weight total. This is gender female, and the weight total is 811, and then we have a gender male, and the weight total is 1089.50. Yes, I got the totals males and females separately. But the problem with this program is, now can you see, I have females total in a separate table and the males total in a separate table. Yes, I want to have females weight total and male weight total, but I want to have all that information in one table, not in a separate tables. Now what we should do, if you want to have everything in one table, now I am writing in a different way. I am writing now PROC means data is equal to data set name, which is a class data set. I want to have a total. I am writing the sum option. Now I'm writing where for which variable I want to have analysis for weight variable. Now this time, instead of writing a by statement, I am writing the class statement. In the class statement, I'm specifying the sex variable. Now, if I execute this program, now I'm going to get the tables like this one. This is when we used by statement, and this is when we used class statement. Now, did you find the difference between by statement and the class statement? In the by and class statement, we have the same report, but when you use the by statement, we got the females information in a separate table and males total in a separate table. But when I use a class statement, can you see how we got this one? We got females information and males information in the same table. So that means same analysis, but we have everything in one table. Which one looks better? Always the second report is better because it's very precise and we have all that information in one table. So now what the class statement will do? Class statement will print the analysis information categorically. It will print analysis information in what manner? It will print in categorically. Now tell me how many categories that we have in the sex variable? We have two categories. Now we have females and males both total in the same table. Now tell me, I am writing the same program like this one, but this time I am writing in the class statement, I am writing a variable called age group. Tell me what will happen now?
We'll be having three
values.
different.
How many types of age groups that we have in our data?
3.
3 variable.
We have 3 different types of values: young, middle, and adult. Now, if I execute the program, we are getting young people weight total, middle aged people weight total, and then we have an adult people weight total. Okay. Now, did you identify the difference between now the by statement and the class statement? When we were using a by statement, we need to sort the data. But when writing in a class, did you sort the data by age group now?
No, sir.
No. So, but if you want to use a by age group, what would we have done? We need to sort the data. Then only we can write a by age group. Now tell me, what are the two advantages, two differences that we have between the by statement and the class statement? When you're using a by statement, we need to sort the data. But when you're writing a class statement, you no need to sort the data. And the second one is, when you write a by statement, for each by group, you will get a separate table. But when I take a class statement, all the different groups, categories will come in only one table. Isn't it? So that's why class statement is a far superior, better, sophisticated statement than the by statement. That's why we always write a class statement in a PROC means procedure. Very important interview question. They will ask you what is the difference between class and by statement in PROC means procedure. So what is the class statement will do? It will print the data categorically. How many categories that we have in that variable? Those many tables, those many different groups you will get it. But you will get all the groups in one table. Now tell me, if I write the same program here, but if I specify instead of sex is, what will happen now? I'm writing class is.
Now 11 values. 5 values.
You will get separately, for 11 years
Fine.
age, we are going to get the weight total, 12 years weight total, 13 years weight total, 14 years weight total, and 15 and 16 years weight total. We have 6 different types of age groups. For all the 6 age groups, we are going to get the weight totals. But can you observe, when I'm writing that class statement, we are getting one extra column. What is the extra column I'm getting?
No.
N, that is not
Number
obvious. N obvious. N obvious, number of observations. That means 11 years we have 2 members and it is their total. 12 years 5 members, their total. 13 years 3 members, their total. 14 years 4 members, 15 4, their total. And 16 1 and their total. But this an extra column, I don't want to have this one. This is an annoying, confusing. I don't want to have that one. If you do not want to have NOBS column, now we are going to use an option called no NOBS. NOBS means number of observations. No NOBS means suppresses printing of number of observations column. Now, can you see? Now we do not have that NOBS column now. Understand this one? Now, I am writing like this one. PROC means data is equal to data set name, which is a class. Now, I do not want to have a labels. I'm writing the no labels option. I'm writing var weight variable. And by the way, I want to have only the total for weight variable. If you want to have only total, what we should do?
Some.
We use
Option.
sum keyword.
No.
If I write the sum for whom I will get the total?
Wait.
Wait.
For weight, okay. I will get for all the 19 students.
All the 90.
But I want to have separately for males and females. Then what should I do?
Class.
Class.
So if I specify the class sex, I will get the analysis, for males and females separately, like this one, right? And I do not want to have NOBS column. Then what should I do? I should write no NOBS.
No NOBS.
I'm writing no NOBS. You won't get that NOBS column. Now, this is not my requirement. Now, what I want to do, now I want to have analysis within the females. Okay. Within the females, I want to have analysis separately for adults. I want to have analysis separately for middle, and I want to have separate analysis for young. Understand? Now, again, within the males, I want to have analysis separately for adult students, for middle students, and then I want to have analysis separately for young students. Now, female adults, now what is the total weight? What I want to have? I want to have a weight total. So a weight total, I want to get this information here. And again, I want to have, middle weight total. Then I want to have young weight total. So that means how I want to have analysis now? I want to have analysis within the females, age groups. Within the males, again, age groups. If you want to have analysis in that way, now in the class statement, After writing the sex variable, now I am writing a variable called age group. Now, if I select the program, execute the program, now this is how I'm going to get the analysis. Now, can you see now within the females, for whom we are getting this analysis? Adult, total, middle, total, and young. And again, within the males, we are getting total for adult, middle, and young. Understand? So that means not only one variable, you can have analysis for another within another variable. One variable within another variable. Understand this one? Now tell me, if I write the same program like this one, tell me what will happen now. Now I am writing age group first, then followed by sex. Now tell me what will happen now. Within the adult,
Within the age
within
group,
the adult, you will get females and males.
and male.
Females and males. Then again, what will happen? Now within the middle,
Middle.
you will get analysis for again for females
Female
and
and
males.
male.
And again within the young, again you will get analysis for young
Female and
females.
male.
You will get young males. So this is how we are going to get the analysis. Understand this one? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, if I specify now three variables, age group, or I will write a sex, I will write a age group, and then within that I am writing age. ఇప్పుడు అనాలిసిస్ ఎలా వస్తుందండి? ఫస్ట్ ఫిమేల్స్ వస్తారు. ఫిమేల్స్ ఎవరికి వస్తుంది అనాలిసిస్?
Adult and
అడల్ట్ అడల్ట్
middle.
ఎన్ని రకాల ఏజెస్ ఉంటాయి తెలుసా? We have 15 and we have only 15 because females లో only 15 years ఒకలే ఉంటారు. నెక్స్ట్ ఫిమేల్స్ లో ఇప్పుడు ఎవరికి వస్తుందండి? నెక్స్ట్ we are going to get analysis
Middle.
for in the middle we have 13 and we have 14. And then we are going to have young. Again in the young లో ఎవరికి వస్తుందండి ఇప్పుడు? We are going to have analysis for 11 and then we'll get analysis for 12. So that means within the sex, age group, within the age group, age. Now we are going to have total for weight variable. Weight variable total. Understand this one? Could you able to follow? I'm going to have weight total here. So whatever the total I'm going to have, I'm going to have here. And in the same way, again, we are going to have males. We will have, in the males, we are going to have 15 years. And then, of course, we are going to have, in the males, we have also 16 years also. We are going to have 16 years. So then middle 13, 14, and young 11, 12. So to put a analysis, any dimension వస్తుందండి? Within the sex age group. Within the age group, age. What statistics I'm asking for? Total. For which variable? Weight variable. Now see, this is how we are going to have analysis. Within the sex age group. Within the age group, age. Understand this one? So far, when I execute the PROC MEANS procedure, where I'm getting this report?
Result.
The result
Result
window
window.
or output window.
Output.
And when we have information in the output window and the result window, only to observe, to understand, that is going to help you. But we cannot manipulate the information present in the results window. But I want to manipulate the information. If you want to manipulate information, where we should have that information must be present in a data set, not in the output window. Now, how to save this information, whatever the information that you are getting in the output window, how to save this information to a data set. And we'll see that thing in tomorrow's class. Okay? Clear, everybody? See you in 2 months.
So place the notes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Then.
Thank you, sir.